Hello, my No More People Pleasing family. It's so good to talk with you today. And I'm excited to talk to you about yet another subject. Boy, we are struggling in relationships. Relationships is the thing that we want to correct. We want to be able to have healthy relationships so that, I mean, it's tough in life if we don't have solid relationships. But a lot of times, what happens is that when we start to get relationships established, sometimes it's with the wrong people. And then sometimes we just don't know how to handle relationships once they come our way. Some of us are actually missing out on great relationships because we don't have the confidence that we have what it takes to sustain relationships. And that's what I talked a little bit about last week when I talked about how we avoid sabotaging relationships. And so check that out if you haven't got a chance to check that out. But I want to talk to you a little bit about how to up your value and be more attractive in your relationships. Of course, this is all women, so we're talking to the ladies here about some things that we can do to up our value and to be more attractive in relationships. And one of the things that when I'm working with clients that I see is that when there is not a significant level of self-worth that we're experiencing as individuals, when people are that we are in relationships with, when they step back, we're not okay with it. We're not okay with it. Not that anybody should just be okay with someone stepping back in a relationship, but let's think about what is your move often when it seems like someone is stepping back. What is your next move? Um do you just kind of let it be and kind of play it by ear? Do you become overly anxious and start to do things maybe that can put you in a place that maybe you second guess or have some stepper's remorse afterwards, and start to reflect, man, did I need to make that call? Did I need to have that last exchange? So when I want to encourage you that when people step back, when you're in a relationship, let's say it's a romantic relationship, and you see, or something that's developing, it's just a friendship, and people start to step back, it's important to understand that it's not necessary for you to move forward, okay? To For you to take the aggressive step. Um, you know, a lot of times when we start to um aggressively move forward when someone is moving back, it can make them uncomfortable, and essentially um it makes you uncomfortable. Okay. Um And so I just want to encourage you to revisit that, evaluate how you really, and I want to say this. A lot of times when people start to step back, the thoughts that come about when someone does this reveals many times what we really think about ourselves. So if it appears that they're stepping back from you, or they're not calling as much as they used to, what type of thoughts are resonating in your mind? And it's those thoughts many times that drive us to make decisions that we many times regret. Um, if it's a romantic relationship and it appears as though someone is stepping back somewhat, sometimes confidence, and we'll talk about this a little bit, um, shows when we are okay with the situation. Like, we're not acting as though we're pressed about it. We're not acting anxious or desperate about that. Okay? And so when someone steps back, it's all right to mirror, in a sense, what they are doing. In other words, I'm not aggressively stepping forward when you step back. It doesn't mean that just because they step back that they're stepping away. And that's the thing that we have to recognize. And to piggyback on that, we don't need to chase. Okay? We don't need to chase after people. We don't need to chase after attention. If someone is not giving us what we need, it's really essential for us to understand that not every situation is going to work out the way that we have designed in our mind for it to work out. Sometimes some situations really are not a good fit. If you think about some of the situations maybe that you have experienced that you should have let go, it many times wasn't really because you were into that person, into that relationship. It a lot of times had to do more so with the fact that I'm feeling like someone is leaving me. I'm feeling like someone is abandoning me. I don't want to um, feel as though I'm not valued. And so the fear of someone separating from us many times will cause us to chase. And this is the thing. If there is someone in a relationship that you're in and you're feeling like that you have to chase them, this many times is an indication that you're not valued by them. And I know that sounds pretty harsh. It's an indication that you are not valued by them because someone who values you, you won't have to chase. Someone who values you, when they step back, you can step back and then we get back in place where we need to be. Okay. So, but what does that mean if someone doesn't value you? It just means a lot of times, like I said, it's just not a good fit. It doesn't mean anything negatively about you. See, if you're establishing standards and boundaries, then the relationships that you have been used to because of the people that you're used to attracting, when you establish those boundaries, you're going to get a lot of people stepping back or stepping away because that means they need to go. And most of us, in most situations, we don't necessarily have a problem many times attracting people to a degree. We just take in the wrong people. We entertain the wrong people, and these happen to be the ones that end up being the individuals that manipulate and don't treat us in the way that we want to see. Okay, so we when someone steps back, we want to allow room for that. We don't want to chase because that makes us seem desperate. And it's very, very, very important for you to exude confidence. Um, a lot of men really have an interest in women who are confident. Um, I mean, because the thing is that if you're not confident, the type of person who is likely in many cases to be attracted to you is going to be the type of person that wants to manipulate you. Okay. Because they're going to leverage off of your lack of confidence. So, how do I become confident is the question because it's like, well, you're saying that like that's just such an easy thing. It's not so easy to become confident. A big part of being confident is acceptance. And this is what I've been talking to people about all week is acceptance. Do you accept you? If you don't accept you, if you don't like you, no one else will. Okay? If you are not happy with yourself in your own skin, if when you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, this is an indication that there is a problem that needs to be looked into, that needs to be resolved. You need to get some support. Okay? Because everyone, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're not attracted to you, then that is going to show when other people show up. And I was talking to somebody and they were like, I just attract broken people. I just end up attracting broken people. Well, why is it that I attract broken people? Because I'm very broken. Okay. So when that is corrected, and a big part of it, of the correction process, is acceptance. Now, what's acceptance? Let's take a look at acceptance. Acceptance just simply means that I accept that what if you look at yourself and you don't think that you're pretty, you don't believe that you're beautiful? You don't have to. You just have to be accepting that this is me. This is what I'm working with. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to make it a positive and we're going to ride with it. Then the confidence starts to show up because you're accepting you. But if you feel that, oh, I'm not attractive, this is a deficit. So then I have to work or I have to compensate in these different areas and do because I'm not good enough because of the way that I look. which is so superficial. Okay. But it matters. I understand that it matters. Okay. But the thing is, you don't have to like or be in love with yourself, but you do need to accept yourself if you want to be accepted. Once you accept yourself, you become confident. Once you accept yourself, when someone steps back or they pull away, the confidence won't allow for you to chase. And so then people get attracted and are curious about what you represent because it's like, man, she's not even bothered. And then they can't make the threats to leave. Even once you're in a relationship, making the threats to leave because they're used to when I step back, when they step back, I step up. When they step back, I step up. And they leverage off of that. Be confident. All right. We just got a couple more. Find happiness. In order to be confident, it is very important to find happiness. Um, Part of finding happiness, and this is something I've been talking about a lot this week, and this stuff works. Let me tell you, a lot of what I've been talking about this week is finding happiness. A big part of what I see with individuals who have issues with people pleasing, which connects with self worth issues, confidence. That's all like kissing cousins, is that we put pressure on ourselves to be something or somebody that everybody else wants, right? We put the pressure. So we put the pressure when it comes to many times the job, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to you know, things that we want in life. Like the fear of not sizing up a lot of times will create circumstances where we don't even try. We don't even make an effort to assume and to grab a hold of something that should be for us because of fear. So that's not going to make me happy if I'm not feeling like I have what's needed to step up to the table. That's not going to make me happy if I'm feeling like I'm not worth it, or I don't have what it takes to support a relationship, or I have liabilities, whether it's a disability, whether it's children, whether it's where you think you are in your career, whether it's the way that you feel that you look. Again, we want to have acceptance. Again, wherever you are, or whether you feel wherever you feel you are, it is not a permanent state. Okay, so if at this time I have a fear that nobody wants me, let's just get it out. Let's just get the anxiety out of our environment. Okay. If I feel that nobody wants me, okay, so let me just accept that. This is how, not that nobody wants me. Let me accept the feeling that I feel that nobody wants me. Okay, that's okay that you feel that way. But is that a permanent state? Is that something that cannot change? Because the anxiety comes up when we anticipate this person is not going to want me. Or if it's something that I need to do in my career, I'm fearful that I am not good enough to be able to make that mark, to get that promotion. So then I don't even try because I have already established in my mind what I am not. And so this leads, it's no way that I can be happy if I'm having these negative ruminating thoughts about me because of fear. So whatever you're fearing, just put it on the table. Well, what if I'm not good enough? So what? Okay, so now the pressure is off about me trying to be good enough. What if I'm not good enough? What and I tell people all the time, it's just like with public speaking or me doing something like this. I always expect to say something stupid. When I had more issues with public speaking, that was more of a concern. So I wouldn't even get up and say anything. But the thing is that I know, like I said, I know that I might say something stupid. So I'm not worrying about that. And therefore, I get to say what I need to say. I get to be who I want to be without a reserve and being overly anxious and scared to death that I'm going to say something stupid. Why? Because I know I might say something stupid. Oh, well. Okay. So if it's a thing that you're fearing that, hey, nobody wants me, understand that's a feeling. Understand that that doesn't necessarily mean it's a reality. And no matter how much of a reality that we think it is, if I'm going to screw up and say something stupid, it doesn't mean that I have to keep saying stuff stupid, that I have to plan to say something stupid, or that if I do say something stupid, that I'm still not offering value. Okay. So where is the positive out of these situations? What is the positive that I can gather from these situations? It's very important for us to see positive in everything so that we can find happiness and relieve ourselves of the anxiety that keeps us away from the relationships we want. Now, lastly, I'm going to end on this. If you are looking for a romantic situation, it's very important that in getting into relationships, sometimes we get desperate. And I just want to say that I'm a firm believer as a man and talking to men. I'm kind of old school, but I talk to a lot of youngsters as well, and the game hasn't changed. Let a man lead. Okay. So what do I mean about let a man lead? When it comes to, we got this new day thing to where the women are being the initiators. Okay. So we've got lots of testosterone as men. We like to be challenged. We like to fix things. We like to hunt. Okay. And so there are exceptions, but most men like to hunt. I was just talking to someone, and it was just by accident that we found out that most of the relationships that they have been in, they initiated it with the men that they chose to be with. Okay. And so I want you to understand that when this happens, it takes the hunt out of the man. No man, no real man, when we talk about, okay, so when you get married or when you start dating or whatever, the story always comes up. Well, how did you meet such and such? How did y'all meet? No man except for a narcissist man, and I mentioned this before, wants to say that she found me. He wants to say that I pursued her and I got her. Okay. He wants to say that I pursued her and I got, even when we go hunt for stuff, we don't want an easy kill. We want to feel like that we did something, that we have some skill, and that same skill will work the next time and the next time and the next time. Okay. So only I'm gonna use some bad English. Only weak men don't want to hunt. I'm sorry. Only weak men don't want to hunt. And so only those broken men that are going to be problematic. And I'm going to tell you how it works, right? It says in the Bible, he who findeth a good, a good, a good wife findeth a good thing, right? He who findeth the wife, right? And so when you initiate as a woman, and you all probably experience this and know this to be fact. So I want to bring the reminder so we can break the cycles and break the patterns, right? Um, when you take the lead, he will expect you to take the lead, not just on that relationship, but he's going to expect you to take the lead on intimacy. He's going to expect you to take the lead when it comes to emotional needs being met. He's going to expect you to take the lead when he says everything is your fault. In other words, you step up because it's your fault, not me. He's going to expect you to be the one to step up and say and take the blame for everything. Okay. And so it's staging the relationship, staging the situation where he doesn't have to do anything. Sounds like a mama's boy. Okay. Those are not the ones you want to deal with. He's going to expect for you to take the lead when it comes to conflict resolution. He's going to expect you to take the lead when it comes, y'all know about this: birthday, romance, gifts, holidays, planning, the kids. Okay. He's going to expect you to take the lead in all these situations because this is how it was staged. Sometimes we got to pull back and let the leader lead. Let him assume you, because again, if he's coming after you, that means he sees value. If you make it easy, you stop the hunt. Don't play games, but don't make it easy. I'm telling you, the women that follow this instruction in my counseling and consulting, they get the wins. It's just as simple as that. What you have been doing, you probably observed that it's time for a pivot, and that's all right. So let them take the lead, um, and it will change the game. So just to summarize everything, when when people step back, just in general, allow them that opportunity. Be okay with it. Don't start questioning yourself about it being something wrong with you, because that ain't nothing but the devil. Okay. Don't chase. Okay. Be confident. Okay. Find happiness. How do we find happiness? Acceptance. I'm accepting me if nobody else will. That in itself, now I've experienced that one, boy. When I changed the game on that, man, they start coming. But so it changes the game. All right. And let the man lead. Let the man lead. Okay. So hopefully this is helpful for you all. We're gonna um we're gonna end it for tonight, but we will be back next week is the plan. And hopefully this will be helpful, and we'll see you soon. Y'all take care now. All right, bye-bye.